there, boys and girls. This is Jeff Hollis from Torwars.com, and I am very pleased to be having an interview right now with the one and only Reid of BioWare. Steven, how's it going, brother?
Good. Yeah, I'm good. You know, had a nice long day, but I have a beer to hand now, so I'm all good.
Now, Steven, you said you had a nice long day. What's been going on today?
Today's been day one of the first ever Star Wars: The Old Republic Fan Site Summit. So we've had you guys and about 14 other fan sites in the studio today. I guess 29 people total. And you guys have been doing Q&As with a lot of the developers and playing the game for about 5 hours or so.
Steven, I have to say, I have to commend your math, because I've seen how much you had to drink tonight, and those numbers are dead on, brother. Not bad.
I think they've been like burned into my brain through all the planning, so.
So you know how much you paid for each of our individual hotel rooms and plane tickets?
Yes, I do. Yeah, hotel rooms, plane tickets. I know how much this costs, and how much this beer costs. So yeah,
these are important things. Now, Steven, the Fan Site Summit obviously is really good for some of the bigger players among the fan sites. We get a lot of exclusives out of this. What's in it for BioWare?
Obviously we spend a lot of time working with journalists and major media.
Wait, journalists? Seriously, brother? Come on.
No, we work with a lot of major guys, GameSpot and IGN and G4 and everybody else. It's a huge game and a lot of people want to know about it. But you guys are a heck of a lot closer to the people who are going to be buying the game. You're very much representative of, I hate to use a marketing term, but the demographic, of the average MMO gamer. So we want you to play the game because we believe that your opinion is important, and you're going to give people an opinion that hopefully they respect and they trust.
So this is all about the nerd love, then.
Yeah, pretty much.
All good. So far, now I realize today was the big day. Last night we all went out, we socialized a little bit. Today's the big day. We spent a good 14, 16 hours together. What was the high point for you? Other than the beer that's right in front of you.
Yeah, the beer's pretty good. I don't know if I had a high point. It's one of these things where when these things happen, you're always just really happy when nothing goes wrong. So by the end of the day, you're like, yep, I think we got away with it. Everything's fine. Nothing went, horrendously wrong. Then that's good,
Obviously, that does make for a good day.
Yeah. It was nice to really stand in front of you guys and, realize that we had everybody in the room and that we'd pulled it off, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago when we were starting to plan this, we didn't know. We put together the plan and it was kind of like, okay, here's I always do the gold and the silver and the bronze plans, and this is the gold plan, in case anyone was wondering. The bronze plan was like, yeah, we invite 5 sites, and silver is 10 sites, and then 15 sites, and European sites in particular, which is the big part of what we wanted to do. So I'm just really glad that we could pull it off, and that everybody came and it all went just about okay. So that's the main thing.
I have to say, one of the things that we've noticed, David and I from Tour Wars, is that across the board, all of the sites have the same opinion of the game. After having played. Some of us have not had any hands-on prior to this. Coming away from it, pretty stunned, actually pleasantly surprised by the quality of the build you have now, knowing that you're still in early beta.
Yeah. The build that you're playing right now, like we've said, is probably a couple of months old now. I guess it was pretty new, probably just before PAX, maybe a month out from PAX. Was when we locked that previous build, and now we're heading into a much bigger milestone, which is just about finished.
Let's back up really quick now. Just about finished?
The milestone is just about finished. Yeah. No, I'm not saying the game.
Brother.
No. It's all about milestones, and we're heading into a major internal milestone, and that's almost finished now. I think it literally finishes in the next few days. Right. And there's been a heck of a lot of changes, since that build you're playing now. Which is frustrating for us at times because we're like, yeah, this is fixed in the next build, in the next build, in the next build. But that doesn't mean that build is ready to be played, so that's why we're playing the build that we have now.
Well, having experienced the game for the first time today, I have to tell you that even though it may be an older build, and even though there have been a lot of fixes in it, still pretty impressive, and surprisingly, from our perspective, surprisingly polished for a game that is still in very close beta. You guys are playing this very close to your vest, so obviously you're doing a lot of things that are right.
Hopefully, yeah. I think polish is an incredibly important part of what BioWare does, and we're going to polish a lot more. You know, I mean, I'm glad that everyone feels it's polished, and we heard this feedback when we were at PAX East, and people were saying, "Oh, it feels like it's finished," and it's like, nah, not really. You know, we see a lot of stuff that we need to do, you know, to make it better. But a large part of what we're doing now is based off of the game testing we're doing and the focus testing that we're doing, which allows us to get real feedback from people who are really playing the game, and then we can use that and take that and, you know, improve the game and make it better, you know.
Well, and that's the whole goal right there. And obviously that's something you guys take very, very seriously. We saw the concern a lot of times whenever anything, and I mean very, very minor things would go wrong, things really having nothing to do with the game, you guys practically swarmed us trying to fix what was going on. I mean, that seems to be the BioWare approach.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we don't want anyone's experience to be bad. Like, you know, quality of service is what we're about. And even though we're not a live service yet, you know, we're kind of getting, you know, towards that point.
Well, it's obvious that you take that pretty seriously. Now, Stephen and I talked earlier, and this is going to be a Torwars exclusive. Stephen is going to answer his favorite question right now. Stephen, release date, give us some specifics right now. November 5th, isn't it? Is that the one? He promised earlier.
November. You know that the 5th of November is an important date from an English perspective, right? Remember the 5th of November?
Is it the 5th of November?
It is, yeah. Is it the 5th, right? I haven't been out of the country that
you
much.
heard it from him, the 5th of November, folks. That's the day.
That would be bonfire night when we celebrate almost blowing up the Houses of Parliament. Not quite. Not really an American holiday. No, 2011 is about as, you know, definitive as we're going to get right now. I mean, I've been talking about this earlier on, and one thing I was going to say, and I want to reassure everybody from you know, on the forums and reading Torwars, you know, like, when we're ready to announce the release date, you will know that we're going to announce the release date ahead of time. We will make it obvious. You will feel a tremor in the force, and you'll know.
Will speak loudly.
You'll know that the release date announcement is coming. We're not going to spring it on you in a Friday update. It's not going to be suddenly, oh, by the way. You know, we're going to, obviously it's extremely important when we make that announcement, and, you know, we're going to maximize that as best we can and make sure that every media outlet in the world knows about when we're coming around.
Now, I have to ask you this question. There's an 800-pound gorilla in the room, okay? There is a very, very large, very, very prominent, very, very popular MMO out there. And traditionally, they have a way of kind of screwing with new MMOs when they come out. Something you guys have probably talked about. Now, I think it's pretty obvious that I'm talking about MapleStory Online. Are you guys prepared to deal with their wrath when you guys launch?
Well, I don't know. MapleStory, I mean, they're a very serious competitor. I think we might be playing in a slightly different space. I mean, I honestly think the business of, you know, spoiler tactics, to a certain degree, I think it's slightly exaggerated by the press. I don't. Yeah, I mean,
David, do you think we exaggerate? Us?
Come on, brother. No, I mean, but I think there isn't as much planning of that as you might think. Okay. I think there is definitely some crossover, but it's, you know, let's be honest. If you're in the business of doing an MMO, you're going to make sure there's a major update at least once a quarter, right? So, I mean, okay, yeah, if it lands on the same day or the same week, then you may feel that it's an attempt to spoiler tactics, but I don't know. It's honestly, we can't plan for it, right? You know, and we're not going to get into a game of chicken, you know. So if we announce a release date and then somebody else says, "Oh, we're going to do blah 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 on that day," like, okay, you know, if that's what you decide to do, but there's only so much oxygen in the room, you know. So I think honestly, it could kind of backfire on people if they try and do that, and we'll see. We'll see what happens when we announce.
All good. Well. 2011, Tor is going to be, in our estimation, having played the game today, having had a very positive experience, we're looking at Tor as the next big MMO. We're very excited to see it come out. It's coming out in 2011. Stephen, thank you so much for talking to us. We really appreciate it.
No problem at all. Glad you enjoyed the game.
This is Jeff Hollis for Torwars.com, and we are signing out.